history books will be written. The day finally arrived. Remember for the rest of your lives, this day has been etched in our memories. The date, 29th of June, 2024, where India finally, after a long, long wait, have an ICC trophy in our name. Everybody, ladies, gentlemen, people, welcome to an elated version of Uncommentary, a special version. And I have a few special guests coming in today, along with my regular guest, Narayanan. I have my friend Krish, who's joining me from Melbourne, but he's originally from Mumbai as well. And I have Harish. He's joining me from Mumbai. And it is a wonderful day. And it's an honor for me, for you gentlemen, to join us. How did you guys celebrate the victory? Tell me, raw emotions. Please.
I, on some level, still can't believe that this actually happened. After being in like so many finals, knockouts, I almost sort of made my peace with the fact that it was going to be one of those days that I'll just, it's fine. This is like, we know how it is. So we should be okay. And so when that last over started and I realized that we are closer to winning than losing, I won't deny, like, I welled up a bit. Like, I think I started crying before we even won the game. I think it was already sort of welling up. And I think what I am really happy for, if not for anything, for this win of ours, I'm so happy for Rahul Dravid.
Yeah.
I think this guy has given us so much. And like seeing him in 2007 in that World Cup, I mean, that didn't happen. I don't know. There was no World Cup in 2007. Strange. Seeing him from
He's
that.
talking about 2007 50-over World Cup.
In the West Indies. So, and winning it again there. I was very overwhelmed, and I think that kept me through, like, just, staying awake. So I'm able to function with only one cup of coffee. But yeah, felt incredible, man. Felt incredible. Let's chat more about it.
Yeah, oh, totally. It was a good closure, I believe, for Rahul Dravid, and you could see his raw emotion. He does not display that any time, but when they handed him the trophy on the stage, on the celebratory platform, you could see its sheer passion coming out, like all his might. He yelled. I think that would be the roar that came out, the highest of decibels levels that came out. You're like, yeah, grunt. And Harish.
Actually, I think it wasn't Rahul Dravid. It was Indra Nagar Ka Gunda. That was
Indra Nagar Ka Gunda. Yeah, there you go. That roar was from the Indra Nagar Ka Gunda.
I mean, it was more of a relief that yes, finally we won. There was a stage where I told my family, oh, no, again it's repeating. India is again going to, end at the losing side. It's again one of those days, where we, all get charged up, pepped up, and finally we end up, on the other side of the entire game. I mean, honestly, 30 out of 30, I honestly believe none of us would have even thought about, India winning from there. And the way things have turned from there, it's more like a, I mean, it's not something which was God written that, okay, boss, ho gaya bahut, ab jeeto tum log.
Yes.
I mean, who would have thought from that point that, India had even, I mean, there was a 10% or a 5% probability on the probability meter of India winning. And we won from that position.
Yeah, incredible.
South Africa lived with their names of chokers.
Yeah.
And the celebrations in Mumbai were like, it was night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I mean, Mahavir Nagar, Yogi Nagar, people were just out on the streets. Shivaji Park, you name the place, and people were out on the streets.
Yeah. I was watching those videos and I felt missing the action and I was a bit sad. I'm like, oh, काश मैं वहाँ पे होता, मैं ये देख पाता और मैं भी जाके डांस करता. I remember 2011 World Cup after
Yes.
we won, we drove from Malad to Lokhandwala and we parked our car there and people were on the streets celebrating, dancing. They got us out of the car and they were getting people out of the car. Every car, they're like, come out, dance with us. Random people, nobody knew anyone. And that was the only thing we were doing. And all those memories came back. And that was the only sad part that I felt that, oh, मैं वहाँ पे होता तो मैं अभी वहाँ पे रोड पे वहाँ पे लोगों के साथ नाच रहा था. But other than that, I was still dancing in my house. I was still having, like elated moments. I remember, Harish, you called me along with the other guys.
Yes.
And all four of us, we were crying. Harish, myself, Vinay, Piyush, and Hiten and Murugesh, all. I think after a long time we had everybody on the call and we were all crying. Yeah, incredible. Thanks.
Factor, every
And
time
I was equally when I saw the score, 24 runs of Aksar, that really I was like, no, it can't be happening again. Not to South Africa. It can't be just choking more. And then 30 of 30, and then I had pretty much given up hope. Similarly to what the win predictor was. Win predictor was 97% South Africa to 3% India. And then those two Bumrah overs put the brakes, and then you could see, South Africa started to panic. And then you just needed that Hardik last over to pull off that victory. I mean, yeah, I equally welled up, and I couldn't believe. I was screaming at the top of my voice for every wicket, along with Virat's famous abuses. But yeah.
Yes.
14 years since the last T20 World Cup victory. I mean, that is a long wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
17
years.
20
years.
17
yeah.
years.
Yes. Harish, sorry. You were saying something. Sorry. And we interrupted.
No, I said it was like more of a relief, I mean, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Okay. Vinay joins us. Vinay, right on time.
Vinay.
Yes. So the first question that I put to everybody and to you as well, first and foremost, congratulations on this amazing win. And tell us, how did you celebrate?
Vinay must have won money on Dream 11.
Oh, yes. तूने वहाँ पे मस्त कमाया रहेगा. अरे तू म्यूट पर है. Tell us what happened. Sorry, can't hear you. Can't hear you. Do you wanna log out and log in again? Okay. So I'll tell you guys how I celebrated. First, yes, I had sheer tears of joy in my eyes and that relief. I was dancing. And then, before the match, remember, Harish, I was telling you I had created a playlist. So I went grocery shopping and I went to the Indian grocery to get Indian grocery items. And I had this playlist. Rang De Basandi, Chak De India, and Ma Tujhe Salam, and Bar Baraha, Bolo Yaraha, and kept on listening to them in loop. And from the Indian grocery, I got myself what a typical Guju like me would do. I had jalebi fafra. Yes, I can't. I can't have a moment of celebration without jalebi fafra. So there it was. And I was like, I'll buy this because I have this firm belief India will win. And I will celebrate having jalebi fafra. So once all the emotions came out, I'm like, now is the time. get the plate on, have jalebi fafda. So that was my celebration.
This would have been what, at 6 a.m. your time?
Roughly about that, 5:30 or something. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, after the match was over, and all the victory lap. During that time, I started having, yeah. But let's get back to the match.
I will say one thing about this particular final. Now that I look back on it, it's been like a few hours now removed from it. Leading up to it, if all the finals and knockout games that like India have been in, I was quietly confident about this one. Like I had a chat with like an Uber. We talked about this there earlier. Like the night on Saturday night, like I was coming home and I was having a chat with the Uber person, and I told them like, if we bat first, we make 170, we good. I think I'll back our bowling unit to defend that. Now that being said, that's pretty much exactly what game was. Like India bat first, make 170, and then we defend it. But I didn't expect it to be that close. I'll admit, I was more confident going into this game than I've been for any knockout game that we have been in, for the state. So 2011, I wasn't. I think I was too young to have any level of confidence back then. And then the 2007, I think India-Pakistan, you never know. But this one, 2024, I was the most confident I've ever been on a night before a big final.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have been, because we know South Africa have that tag that we spoke about. Yeah, and let's talk about the game. Yes, we've seen all the analysis, we've seen all the match reports, but let's still talk about it because people want to hear it. People want to hear it on Uncommentary. Our fans want us to discuss. India started off with the first 2 overs, 23 for none, and then back-to-back 2 wickets in 3 balls. Keshav Maharaj breaks the partnership. Rohit Sharma first, Pant second, and then pretty much in under 2 overs, Surya Kumar Yadav. And Klaasen is the one who takes those incredible catches, 2 of those. Match seemed like it reminded us of the day that we don't want to talk about. Similar thing happened last year, and we are not talking about that day. But Kohli slowly built the innings. But this time around, you could see it from ball 1. He was very cautious, playing all along the ground, and looked like he had the determination that he is going to be there till the end. He pretty much was scoring those amazing runs. That partnership with first Akshar Patel, incredible. What turnaround this guy has had.
He is the unsung hero of Test. Had it not been for Akshar Patel, I vouch we would have not reached that score. The innings that he played gave Kohli the freedom to, take his singles, reach there, and then attack. I mean, the way Akshar was hitting those sixes, they were incredible.
I think he's been an incredibly clutch player for us this World Cup.
Akshar reminds me of what Gautam Gambhir faced in the 2011 fight.
Yes,
97.
And even 2007. Gautam Gambhir played similarly.
It was Gautam Gambhir which took us there. Had that Akshar inning not come, I vouch we would have not even crossed 150.
True. And alongside Akshar Patel, Virat Kohli, like you said, Harish, he was able to rotate the strike and hit those odd boundaries. Remember, there were no boundaries for about 10 overs that Virat Kohli hit. The last boundary that he hit was in over number 4, I guess.
Right.
And then the next boundary that he hit was in over number 15. So
17.
There was a drought, 17. Yes, that was a drought for about 12 overs from his side, but he kept on rotating the strike. And Akshar Patel was given the charge of going after the bowling. And once he was out, we had another youngster who was in, who pretty much took over from where Akshar left, Shivam Dubey. Now, I like this strategy that India played yesterday, and I'm sure all of you would agree and would have noticed as well. Um, every time a wicket fell, if it was a left-hander that got out, another left-hander came in. If it was a right-hander that got out, another right-hander. For example, when Virat Kohli got out, we had Hardik Pandya. But when Pant got out, we got Akshar Patel, and then when Akshar Patel got out, we had uh, Shivam
Sure.
Dubey and then Jadeja. So that was kind of a good arrangement that the Indian team got yesterday. Build up a good total, and then follow it up with taking two early wickets. Floor is open now. Let us talk through how the Indian bowling performance started. Anyone, please.
I think it started off in like the best way possible, right? If you have like a target of that sort of, it's like a middling target, World Cup final notwithstanding. A 170 is sort of like a target where both sides think they have a chance, which makes if you're a neutral, makes amazing viewing because both teams are gonna give the best shot at it. And I think the way that we started, you could have almost seen this becoming a repeat of like Siraj ripping through South Africa in the 50-over World Cup. Like you could have seen that coming. The fact that they consolidated was, testament to the fact about how good South Africa have been in this World Cup. They have won like close encounters, or the one against England that they won. Like they have been. It is very unfair on them that their performance is going to be the byline of the story and not the main event, because they went through completely unbeaten. No, and in both, like they were tested and they proved themselves. And so when that game started and when the second inning started and they were two for 13, I think, by over number two, and like 22 for two by over number four. If you had stopped the match at that point and you would have asked someone to be like how this game would end, they would say South Africa would have struggled their way to like 130, India would have won by like 30 to 40 runs, and it would be easy peasy. But it didn't. That as far as the start was concerned, it's as ideal as possible for India, not very for South Africa.
Yeah, and then they beautifully rebuilt the innings. Absolutely.
How about the innings from Quinton de Kock and Klaassen? Please talk us through.
Tristan Stubbs as well. I think we got to include him. A young kid, just being put in that environment. Like South Africa have some like gun batsmen coming through their system. I know as like a Mumbai Indians fan, Devald Bravis is in the T20 squad, and he doesn't get a sniff in this team. It's just amazing because Devald Bravis is legit. But I think Quinton de Kock really buckled down, played that anchor role, which he has also done at several IPL teams, and his wicket was a very. I think I've listened on several podcasts that seem to think that him losing the wicket was a watershed moment because he was the one who was like the anchor, the settling force. And I think when the Stubbs and de Kock were playing, it seemed like the pitch was easy. It was flattened out, slow, and seems like there was nothing stopping them. They kept close to the required rate, and in fact they were accelerating when Stubbs' wicket finally fell. Which, by the way, what a strange dismissal that was. Like, it's almost as if he was playing on another pitch. And if you look at if you freeze the moment where he gets bowled, it looks really ugly. Even though leading up to it was probably he was targeting that boundary all the time with the wind. So it was a logical shot, but I think maybe moved across too much and basically got yorked by a left arm spinner.
Yeah. Krish, we spoke about this.
If you look at the pitch was actually a proper batting wicket with nothing in it for the spinners at all. If you look at the score that we achieved, it was very, very par score. It wasn't even above par. So you ask anyone with the lineup that South Africa had and the form that they were coming in, at the end of the first innings, I had my doubts whether we could pull it off. And that Kohli's 76 or 57, I feared it could be one of the reasons why we could have lost the finals as well.
I remember Nasir Hussain in the mid-innings break, he said, if India win, people will say Virat Kohli's anchor inning was the reason. And if India lose, people will say Virat took a very long time in the middle and he didn't have that strike rate. So it was kind of I get what people mean with this.
It's
was
actually
kind of
the main reason why RCB has not won a title as yet. And he ends up consuming most of the balls that the other batters don't get enough balls to capitalize. Also, I believe that they missed it. One of my friends actually pointed it out, but I think they missed a trick by not sending Aksar one down.
See, Krish, this is the beauty of Uncommentary.
On the balance
we have
of
all
it,
uncommon opinions on this podcast.
I thought it was a very typical Kohli innings. Like he does do that. Like he'll get to 50 on like a runner ball and then start really opening his shoulders up and like doing it. It's easy to see in hindsight, of course.
Yeah.
And you can only rely on your own gut feeling till to a point. After which, like it's a game, anything can happen on the day. I will say though that let's say that Virat gets out for a 50 of 35. Would you have taken that over a 70 something of 50? Or was it 59 balls that he placed and he placed a 76?
Yeah.
It is tough to say because we are so close to what has happened and we're so, part of us is still sort of in that high. But in like the cold light of day, I think it's very reasonable to think that Kohli consumed more deliveries than he should have. That being said, he made such a big difference. He kept the calmness, and I think he has earned enough leeway as Indian fans. As RCB, for RCB, it's a different matter, and the IPL itself is it's hard to sort of break the Mumbai-Chennai hegemony. It's just the way it is. But for the national team, I think Virat Kohli he can do no wrong, basically, as far as I know. And now he'll no longer pay a T20I, which is
We'll come to that point a bit later in our show. Let's get back to the Indian bowling attack. We kind of digressed. We went back to our batting. We know we want to talk about India's batting. Let's come back to the Indian bowling. One thing I wanted to ask you both gentlemen here, Narayanan and Harish, because Krish and I, we discussed this just before. Earlier we met today and we were talking about this. The wicket of Quinton de Kock, he was in control of his innings. Just one ball earlier, he hit that shot towards fine leg and got runs there. And the very next ball, he played exactly the same shot and got out. Now, what Krish and I felt was Quinton de Kock actually did not know the fielder had moved. And that Klaasen on the other end, he failed to let him know because when he played that shot and he saw ball straight into the hands of Kuldeep, he was shocked and he was standing there. So I think that was kind of a miss that we felt. I don't know that they missed a trick there. What do you guys feel?
I feel it was more of a trap. The first ball when Arshdeep bowled, the player was not there at the boundary. And the trap was that we will again ball in the same ball and the player will be moved to the boundary. And you are right. I mean, maybe Quinton missed out on noticing that the player is at the boundary at this point of time. And he played exactly the same shot and got out.
Yeah,
I think it was a mistake on Klaasen not pointing it out to de Kock.
Yeah. All these tiny little things that matter, and pretty street smart move by India. And I think that was the first breakthrough. But Klaasen on the other end, he kept on going. Let's talk about the punt injury.
look, honestly, you should give him a bit of benefit of doubt at the start because the man was in a brutal car accident. So he may also be feeling some pain. But this sort of thing happening, breaking momentum, tactics basically, because on the highest level of sport, teams are very close. So tiny margins, little changes of momentum are super critical. I know it wasn't something as blatant as old mate Gulbuddin in the Australia Bangladesh game. That was straight out of soccer.
Yeah.
But this one was, I think, like if let's be honest, if it hadn't worked and then Klaassen clubs that next ball into like the stands as he should have, because that was a slow gimme ball. If he did that, we would not even be here. So it would just have been one of those like little things. But when you try to go into like the little minutiae of it, like it seems that little thing broke his concentration, his momentum, his hitting process, whatever it is, because that ball was out there and it's a gimme. Good catch by Pant. He took a couple of good catches.
Yeah, that was a good catch. And just before that break, we had a disaster of an over by Akshar Patel. And I think all of us at that point, we felt, okay, looks like the game is slipping away yet again from us. Is this where we call that same
I have never seen
yeah.
a batsman hit a six that has demoralized me more. Because Klaassen, when he hits sixes, he got 100 meters and it's not even like he's trying. It's like so
this.
Little effort. And it's, straight bat and no, like, nice hitting, clean hitting. So that was sort of coming, I think, because he was in the zone and for some reason, Akshar couldn't pitch the ball properly. Like, if you're too full to that guy, it goes the distance. Like, there are no boundaries when it comes to Henrik Klaassen. Like, he was hitting 100-meter sixes, like, nothing. 24 runs from that over. Like, yeah, dude, I thought that was donezo, over. Like, 6 wickets in hand, like, yeah, only South Africa, man. God bless you a lot, but God damn.
Yeah, that was the moment. So once India got the wicket off Klaassen, I think they sniffed, okay, we can pull this off, pull this heist. In comes Miller and Jensen, and you see Bumrah bowl another peach of a delivery. After he got Hendrick out earlier in the inning, Jensen, that ball straight, you miss, I hit, and Jensen had no clue how quick that ball was and had no answers to it. Narayanan?
Do we know how lucky we are to have Jasprit Bumrah? I mean,
totally.
This guy, like, all formats, like, always dependable. One of his overs goes for 8 runs and it's like the end of the world. Like, 8 runs, oh my God. And then he's just, I just want us to like wrap him in cotton wool, bring him out for the World Cup, Australia tour. Because he's so critical. He is so critical. He's so clutch. He's always there. And like, when I was talking about like Klaassen hitting demoralizing sixes, like on the other end of the spectrum, watching Jasprit Bumrah bowl someone, like just smash through their stumps is incredible. Because like there are these little things that he does, like his hyperextension of his elbow, the fact that he's like closer to the batsman, that's why even if he's bowling at 145, it feels faster. Like it can get the ball to move in and out and off a length. He bowls the best Yorker in the world by a significant margin. Now no one's within a country mile of him in death bowling. And he comes back again, 5 overs, 30 to get. He bowls 2 overs, goes for nothing, takes a couple wickets, keeps us in the game. As we have Jasprit Bumrah, we have always a chance. Or back us to defend 120.
No wonder he was the player of the series, player of the World Cup. Narayanan, I would invite you to give us your thoughts on Jasprit Bumrah and his performance yesterday.
That ball of to dismiss Hendricks, that was a very classy ball. Just a hint of outswing and takes out the top of off. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Whatever Krish said is also right. I mean, we are just blessed to have a bowler like him, once in a generation type bowler, especially in our team. You knew when he had come on to bowl, South Africa knew that he's come on to pick up a wicket, so they go a bit tentative. So he initially gives only 4 runs in his first over, which was his third over in the second half of the innings, and then the final over he gives only 2 runs with a wicket of Jensen. So that pulled up the pressure so much that they had to attack the other bowlers, and even Arshdeep bowled really well. I mean, people don't give much credit to him because
top wicket taker.
He's wavered here and there sometimes, but he has very good Yorkers, which is the reason why he is part of the threat, because he's a very good death bowler. So
Didn't
it made
you think that
all the more easier for Hardik because he had 16 runs to defend.
Absolutely.
As compared to what it could have been if either of those 2 overs had become expensive, it would have been a walk in the park type of an over, which wouldn't.
Didn't you think that Hendricks wicket, Naru, was like a test match wicket?
Yeah,
like that's the sort of like wicket you would get in a test match. You pepper in swinger. The Glenn McGrath made a career out of like taking wickets like that. Like Courtney Walsh did that.
Pitch on middle, take the off.
Just a bit top of off. Like it's classic. I read like Ravi Shastri was talking about this recently. Apparently, Andy Roberts, Malcolm, like that sort of Joel Garner, Malcolm Marshall, that sort of attack. Apparently, Andy Roberts met with Jasprit Bumrah and said that you as in Jasprit would be able to take the new ball in their attack. The West Indies attack?
Yes.
Come on. I heard that. Imagine having an India fast bowler like that, like in the days of, when like Shahid Afridi was bowling faster than our fast bowlers. This guy, you know what? Like this is a bit going back, but we should thank Dennis Lilly. That MRF Pace Academy has like set up in like the late 80s has given us bowlers forever, and they continue to do it. So, damn, I think we can like gush about Jasprit Bumrah for like hours.
I mean, this tournament itself, you take out 180 balls, he's given away 124 runs.
That is nuts.
Of 4. I mean, that is just insane.
It's so miserly.
T20 tournament.
Yeah. Harish, please.
I mean, the average at which Bumrah has bowled is, something which I don't think will happen again. You take bowling at 4 runs per over.
Unless he does it again. Like, he is the only one who can say.
I mean, 4 runs per over in a T20. I got.
This goes back to the time when T20 was first introduced. And Narayanan, if you remember, we discussed about this. I think was it during the India-Pakistan game, after the India-Pakistan game, I guess, or before the semi-finals, that this T20 has been so much dominated by the bowlers that it kind of gives you a satisfaction that yes, it is not those Patia wickets where you tend to score 250 runs like you saw just a couple of months ago in the IPL, where teams were scoring 220 and were chasing down that easily. And that kind of gives you that satisfaction that हाँ, bowlers का भी काम है.
Feels earned, doesn't it? Strange. It feels earned.
Yes.
We didn't spam runs. This took skill.
In one of the IPL matches, I believe in the end of the power play, the score was 125 for 0.
I think that was that the Sunrisers versus Mumbai game?
I have no clue, but
think it was
I think Sunrisers match. 125
the grounds are very small over there. I've been to those matches, and the grounds are like 56, 60, 66. So you just once the ball hits your bat, it flies off and it will go for a 6.
Not so in this World Cup. We had some difficult pitches as well. That
we had stadiums being built just a few months back.
Yes, and
we had pitches coming in from Australia.
Yes, and John Trott, the Afghanistan coach, kind of complained, that he raised, saying, We didn't get those easy wickets that other teams were getting. He was saying that after the semi-final that they lost. But I guess pitches were competitive, where it was, anybody who could contribute, whether it was the spinners or pace bowlers or the batters, if you had the patience to to use the pitch in your favor, you had the opportunity. 30 balls, 30 runs. Anybody thought this was South Africa's game? Indians had something else.
6 wickets in hand. 30 of 30.
6 wickets in hand.
Klaasen and Miller were going gung-ho.
Yep. Miller and Klaasen going gung-ho. And in comes Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya, yes. Jasprit Bumrah and Arshdeep have done really well to earn those player of the match and top wicket spots. Hardik Pandya has been also among the wicket-taking bowlers, and he's given us crucial breakthroughs, whether it was against Pakistan, whether it was against South Africa, Australia. He's been there amongst the wicket-taking bowlers. And yesterday as well, he broke that crucial partnership, got rid of Klaasen, and then, like you said, it would have been another ball game if he had less than 16 to defend. But he kind of only gave 9 runs in the last over with Miller on strike, and we know how devastating Miller can be, and if he's on strike. But Hardik Pandya kept his cool, and Arshdeep and Bumrah, of course, they've done their part.
Yeah, but no disrespect to Bumrah, but I was quite surprised that Hardik deserved the Man of the Series award over Bumrah, as per me.
They gave it purely, mainly, I guess, of the impact he had on those games, on most of the games. Yes, Hardik was good. He scored runs.
Contribution with the bat and the ball.
Yes, totally. Bat and the ball. But
I think Bumrah is sort of like a victim of his success in this regard, because going through a tournament, a T20 World Cup tournament with a economy rate of 4. It's freakish. And it wasn't as if he was top of he took 15 wickets. He was 2 off the top wicket taking charts. I think, in the end, like a call like that, giving a player of the series or some sort of award like that's, it's a
and if you
opinion of some, so it could be like,
take the crucial points. I mean, Bumrah has delivered. I mean, let's take the Pakistan match.
I think it's good to have. They have both got solid shots at it. So both Hardik and
Hardik would have run closer, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think Bumrah got those crucial breakthroughs. I mean, if you take the Pakistan match, the wicket of Peswani, Travis Head's wickets in the match of Australia. Okay. And again, yesterday's match.
I think we are sort of selling short, for instance, someone like Fazal Haq Farooqi, who was phenomenal in the entire tournament. And, he took 17 wickets as well coming up to the semi-final. I think player like these awards sometimes are they are designed towards the victors. So some other performances do kind of get disregarded in a way. So I remember back in, I believe it was the 2019 World Cup when Shakib Al Hasan was playing on a level that was unbelievable. Made loads of runs, took loads of wickets, but because Bangladesh didn't really make a run at it, it happens sometimes. Like some other performances get disregarded. I think Bumrah is value for money for this player of the series. Personally, I would have even considered giving him the player of the match also. I think because
I mean, Bumrah as player of the match and Hardik as player of the series would have been even better. Giving man of the match to Kohli, it does not feel vindicated, especially the idea is 72 was good, but I don't think it was a man of the match type of thing.
He stepped up the entire World Cup. I'm sorry, Dev, but the entire World Cup he had gone, he'd not scored. So shows up when you need him. It's it's an extremely sort of, Bollywood-worthy innings. It ends perfectly. It's a nice bow. I'm very pleased for Virat Kohli. I think if he just gets an IPL trophy on top of it, it'll just like complete cricket in that regard. But I don't think RCB is gonna give him that happiness, I think.
Yeah, Sachin Tendulkar never scored a century at Lords. Virat Kohli expecting him to win a trophy for RCB. I don't know. I'm not going there. I'll come back to this game, and one of the most talked about incidents that happened in the game. That catch by Sky. Oh, what was that? What was it? Having that kind of a cool head, and in that situation, I'll start with you first, Harish.
It ultimately comes down to those small centimeters. Dhoni got run out. How much centimeters was the difference? Okay, and we got it back. I mean, it was hardly maybe 1 or 2 centimeters from his, boot touching the side, the side holdings. And who knows, the umpire did not even check from the other side. Kettlebird did not check from the other side. He just checked from this side. I mean, who knows? But, I mean, it was Surya kept his cool head. The way he, ran, I mean, it was like 4 steps he took before he, juggled the ball up, and then he came back and took that catch. Had Miller stayed there, you never know what would have happened. I mean, it would have been 5 of 10, and we have seen Miller, closing up such matches.
Narayanan?
Man, it's just millimeters, right? Which is the difference between despair and ecstasy. This was exactly that.
Yeah, and the whole of India's hearts were in their mouths. Like, oh my God, is it slipping away yet again? Are we seeing South Africa pull it off? But no, Sky stopped it in. And
it looked like a top edge when the shot happened. It looked like a top edge, but
it kept on going.
Kept going, man.
If you look at that over in a microcosm, that first ball went exactly to plan for South Africa, but for Sky, because the ball was there, he hit it straight. Like, it's the safest generally accepted part. He hit it straight. The ball was there to be hit. It was a 6 ball, it's a gimme ball, and it was. I can't. He caught that catch so matter of factly. Like, he was just buying some onions from the grocery. No big deal. Just like pops it up and it's like, yeah, I did that. Yeah. And I was like, I saw it. See, when you see that catch live, you can see like Sky catching it, and then the angle cuts off. You can't see him go on the other side of the boundary and come out. So all I had to do, I was relying on Ian Smith, who, by the way, like, I was watching the comment. Yeah. My God, Ian Smith's the best. Him and Bishop. And he was just losing his mind. I couldn't even make myself watch the replay. Like, I would just shut my eyes. I was like, nah, I'm not watching this. Because I couldn't stand the fact that it could have been a 6. Because that was so perfect. It was so perfect. It was a Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar moment. It was so beautiful. It was wonderful. And I think like that's something to be said about like Indian fielding, because we have been amazing for a while now. I think like a regime change, I think on many levels it's down to like captaincy decisions and things like that. Like, our fitness is off the charts. Like, I'll put our team in terms of fitness against like any team in the world. And I think what this win does is that it takes away that mental block we have about winning big trophies. We went through that I don't know if you guys remember this. We went through a phase with like we used to get to finals and not win under Saurav Ganguly. It used to happen for a while in like all of these try tournaments. We would go and we get to the finals and we'd never win. I think what we needed that 2007 World Cup was big for us. And then what that did was that then we won the World Cup again in 2011, and then we won the Champions Trophy in 2013. It led to a glut of trophies. I am really hoping that this happens we win a few more trophies based on this momentum, because we've.
That's exactly what Sehwag said. Now that we have won one ICC trophy, and India has now, gone through that phase of,
there are 9 ICC trophies in the next 7
finals
years.
and not winning. Now he feels that, we should be able to get more. Because, we have been one of those sides who have been the best side. There's never been a tournament where we have hardly not reached the semi-finals or not reached the finals.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I think we deserve respect for that. Like, honestly, we've been a bit of a joke with like the international cricketing audience. They think we're like a bunch of mugs. We just show up and we will never do anything. Now, I think on some level, it's about time we start making some people eat their words and start winning and like rubbing it in people's faces, just like a bit. Not too much, because we are polite people.
Just a bit.
Just a bit.
Yeah. And, if you take this tournament, we defeated Pakistan, we defeated Afghanistan, we defeated Australia, we defeated England, and then we defeated South Africa. So, of course, it says a lot about the team.
Yeah.
I'll drop off.
We have the WTC final coming up next
problem. Thank you, Harish. It was lovely having you, and I'll share this recording. I'll put it on YouTube for everyone. Please share it with your friends. Have a good evening, and congratulations again. We three will continue, and
thanks, guys. Had a nice day.
Thanks.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Yes. Now, coming back to the game, once Rabada was out, we knew this was pretty much our wicket, except that one wide ball, crazy wide ball that Hardik bowled, just penultimate ball. But then it was just a matter of the formalities. And then came out all raw emotions. You see grown men, as they say, men are not supposed to cry, but grown men crying, and including us. Pure emotions. You've done such a great job. All the hard work, all the efforts that you put in. I remember us friends discussing just a couple of months before the World Cup. We were even doubtful that India could make it to the Super 8s. We were thinking, considering the team that we have, people are out of form. We don't know if we might lose to Pakistan and Canada, maybe. We don't know. I mean, yes, it was all in talks. That's not the mentality of the team per se, but us fans talking all of those things. And we tend to doubt our players, but it is important that you understand that there's a lot going on. The support staff, people who are helping the team, yes, they might lose an odd game, but there are learnings from each game. They are putting processes. They are experimenting some things. So they have that understanding in them. So and we as fans, a lot of times we don't get to see that, and we on face value, we feel, oh, isko ye karna chahiye tha, and ye isko match mein nahi liya, and all of that, and including myself, it is always easy to give advice from the comforts of your air-conditioned homes, but going out there, doing the hard work is what the team is there to do. And please tell me your thoughts, Narayanan, with you first, how you feel the road ahead looks like for India now that Rohit and Virat both have announced their retirement from at least T20 format. Who do you think is going to be the next captain and coach, and what does T20 look like for India?
I think the coach is going to be announced in a few days. It's already decided is Gautam Gambhir. And he's also approached Jonty Rhodes for the fielding coach position. I don't think he's responded as yet, but yeah, he's approached him, definitely. Mm-hmm. So on the coaching side, on the two factors, fielding and head coach, I think those are the ones. And then Yeah, looking at Virat retiring, I think he knew what was coming, especially with Gautam Gambhir coming in as head coach. He had told the BCCI that I would be wanting different squads for the different formats. So I think for the T20 side, I think giving the youngsters who are the next generation, so they would be coming in and being part of the team, like the Jaiswals, the Gills, the Rinku Singh. You would find the odd senior here and there, like the Shami would be there, Bumrah would be there. I think captain could be given to Bumrah.
Mm-hmm. Pretty interesting observation. Krish.
I think Yashasvi Jaiswal is the future opener lock. Like, yeah, I think like someone like Abhishek Sharma from SRH can also because I think the profile of a player like Ruturaj Gaikwad, though he is sort of in that mold and he was there and thereabouts in the team, I think the profile of opener we are looking for is gone beyond the accumulator. Uh, I think back to the semi-final in 2022 when we got thrashed by England in Adelaide. That's when I think there was a come to Jesus moment for us as a team and as a management, that we realized that this process, everyone has to go hard now from the start to the end. So I think unless Ruturaj Gaikwad drastically changes his batting style, which I think he shouldn't, because it is him as a player. It is him authentically is more of like a Kohli type profile than a smasher like Travis Head, who I think is the opener. He's not, that profile is the opener we need. So I think Yashasvi Jaiswal by a country mile is the best option for that. When it comes to captaincy, I'm torn. I think Hardik Pandya has a lot of potential. I think that he will be the choice. I think, but I think we talked about this, Dave, or this earlier afternoon as well. Like, my choice is also just Bumrah. Like, I believe he can be our Pat Cummins in that regard. So I think it's an interesting problem. It's like a good problem to have when you have very good options. And if you choose either, we'll both be like, yeah, fair enough. I can see how you would come to that decision. In terms of like more of the top orders and middle order sort of like batting options, yeah, Rinku Singh is there and thereabouts. He's part of the team. I find it interesting about Shivam Dube, because if he hadn't played that knock in the final, honestly, what would we think? That there was no way that they were going to change the lineup in the final game. Like, it's just, now you're set. You have to go through. Changing the lineup is not, unless it's through injury, it's not advisable. I wonder, like,
back spasm.
Feel about it. Like, what do you reckon, Dev, about Shivam Dube? Like, he can bowl, right? Like, he can bowl.
Off spinners.
All right, so his knock was critical, and it's hard to look at his performance in the tournament objectively, considering that. Maybe if there was
Samson should be given more opportunities now. It's high time.
As a wicketkeeper, you mean, or like instead of Rishabh Pant?
As a keeper, top order batsman.
Okay, it's possible. I think he's going to Zimbabwe, right? That's the next tour.
Yeah, he's going to Zimbabwe, but that's because Pant is not going.
Yeah, that's. I think we're going to save Pant for the.
If you're comparing Shivam Dube's the innings in the last match in the final, I mean, you should also look at Pant's innings in the entire World Cup. That Pakistan innings was he had 5 drop catches, 5. Yeah. It was all streakish shots. So apart from that, he's not done anything in this World Cup.
Yeah, it's difficult, because like the team performance has been so overwhelmingly good. Like, there's no game that we sort of. I mean, we've won. Like, we've gone undefeated. So the team must be doing something right, but I know what you mean. It's like there have been some performances that have papered over certain cracks. So I think, yes, Rishabh Pant, he did not score the number of runs, really, that a top order batsman should in the tournament. And I wonder if it would be worthwhile to have had him like have him open then, and send Kohli at number 3, the position that he knows how to play.
No, but that
being said, we have won the thing.
The problem which I told Devang also, Kohli at number 3 means we have lost the match. You cannot have Kohli at number 3 in T20. You either open or you don't have him in the.
But then we don't have Kohli anymore.
You've seen that innings in Melbourne, man. That was 2 years ago. Dev and I were there.
Him and I, we were there.
You were there. Like,
I was telling
this guy. So watching that
Kohli is in.
Yeah, when he's live, it's like it's not even just like the game itself, right? Like you can feel the mahol, man. Mahol ban jata hai. Like people in and around you are like, he had no chance of winning that. Absolutely none. Like snowball's chance in hell. But Virat Kohli, he's there. It's something about him. He's like almost like the supernatural presence. He's like Real Madrid in the Champions League. He's like some black magic stuff. But yes, this is all gushing and postmortem after like a win in a World Cup final. And you're very right, Narayan. Like you'd be like, yeah, if South Africa win this in 18 overs, we'd just be here like criticizing him. So, man, top level sport is brutal.
Yeah, but there's no Virat Kohli anymore because he's hung his boots from T20. Maybe yes in one days, definitely for tests, but not in T20 anymore. So both your choices, Jasprit Bumrah.
I'd say Jasprit Bumrah, but I will understand if it's Hardik Pandya.
I think it is unanimous.
If it's someone out of left field, suddenly it's Rishabh Pant who's.
You never know. You never know because Rishabh Pant is in the center. He can see all around the field. Wicketkeeper.
And Gill is named captain for the Zimbabwe series.
Yeah, Gill has been named
captain. Yes.
It's kind of they want to try it out with an opposition like Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka and see what their options are before they make a call.
The Zimbabwe is just ODI and T20s, right?
No test
matches.
No test matches.
No. Now, our next test match, I think, is New Zealand, is it? I think New Zealand are coming. Or is it we are coming here to Australia?
New Zealand is coming to India, but the test match, yes, that is Wankhede is getting it finally in November.
Yes, that's what I remember. So yes, it's South Africa, it's New Zealand next, and then we come down here to play.
Wankhede is getting a test match after nearly 10 years.
In terms of finals and the T20 World Cup 2024, that's a wrap. I really want to thank my friend Narayanan, who's been with me on this journey in the past few years. We will continue this journey further and keep on inviting guests. And Krish, thank you. Thank you, Harish. Thank you, Vinay. Unfortunately, you couldn't connect back in. And thank you, all our other guests. Saurabh, you've joined us. We'll continue on commentary with all your love and support. Please keep us.
We are the champions!
We are the champions. All right. Thank you, people. Have a good night. Enjoy. God bless. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Yeah.